as always guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that bell to be notified for future videos.
Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to the fish tank. I'm Cole, and today we are working on a Willys 1941 Gasser. And this build is not your traditional diecast restoration or custom. Today we are dipping our toes into the world of diorama. Personally, I'm not, but for our friend over at Killer of Rock and Roll was interested in a car for his diorama. Let's jump into it. Alright guys, here is our 1941 Willys Gasser. We are doing a diorama piece for, like I said, Killer of Rock and Roll. He was interested in some pretty bare bones castings of mine and asked me if I had any available for trade. And of course, in all fashions, I said, yes, I do. And he asked me if it was possible to create him a diorama piece using this car. And I, of course, told him, yeah, I'll do it, just for the right amount of trade. And he agreed. So today, we are going to take this whole car apart, like you're seeing now here, strip it down to even more bare bones than it already was, and we're going to make this car look like it was sitting in a junkyard for a very, very long time. So how we're going to start that demo process is we're going to take our citrus strip, as you saw there, and just put it in sections of the vehicle. I didn't want to put it everywhere, I just wanted to put it in select areas to strip that paint away. And you'll see why in a little bit. So we are going with these random sets of wheels that we found that I thought were age appropriate for the vehicle, and we're going to create and fit these wheels proper. So like you see here, these old Hot Wheels wheel riders, we're just going to put an old axle on and we're going to glue the end like we typically do. I know, we should be using the fence tool to pry the end of these, but we are still gluing these as so, which is not a bad thing. And with the front wheels, we did something a little bit different. We decided to use the piano wire, measure it to size, and just glue them completely in. It was just the easiest option because the original axle for these wheels was way too short, and I didn't have the proper sized one for it, which didn't help my case at all, but what are you going to do? If you have the ability to create it, why not do it, you know? Once that was cut to size, we are going to grab our Gorilla Glue, and we are going to just dab just enough glue to put our piano wire axle in once we get this going. And once we do that, we're going to make sure that it is as straight as possible because the wire that we are using is a bit thinner than the hole that was provided from the original wheels and axle. So we had to play around with it a little bit and make sure it fit correctly. But once we did, it honestly worked out great and we were able to put it into the car.
Meanwhile, back in the fish tank.
After about a 2-day break, we are going to move back to our casting. So as you see here, that the selected areas that we put the citrus strip on did its job. It's removing the exact areas that I wanted to strip apart. This is actually a pretty common thing for rusty cars, especially if you don't want to completely reset your paint job. I like to do this just because it uses the original color of the car and it saves you on completely repainting it. And it's just one of those little doohickeys that it's just work a little smarter, not as hard, you know. Once we're done with this, we're going to move on to damaging the vehicle. I don't really recommend this for every car, but if you're doing a a model or a diorama piece like this, go for it. So the first little defect that we're going to do is drilling out one of the headlights to look like it was rotted out. The original one fell out, and it's just starting to rot. Yes, it's a perfect hole, but honestly, it just works the part for this casting. Second type of damage we're going to do to our car is using this hole punch, and we're going to put some dents in the trunk. We're going to put a couple in the roof, and we did this little thing that I figured out that there was a really thin spot, and we made it look like it started rusting between the fender and the hood, which was really cool. And we also did it on the sides and a couple other places, but this is kind of the effect or the look that I am wanting. We also did grind off part of the rear fender. We made the door look like it was rotted out, and we just added to the effects, you know. So the thing that I'm doing now is I took the most worn out wire wheel attachment I have for my Dremel tool just to scuff up that paint a little bit more. I know it probably wasn't really needed because we were going to put effect powder and all this other stuff on it, but I thought it'd be necessary just to age it up a bit. Once all the selected damage was done, we're going to move on to our brown rust-protected primer that I've been using for a couple years now. I do need to get another can of it, but it's lasted me so long, so why get more new ones? So pretty much what I wanted to do was just lay this on thick in spots and just give that pre-rust look. I like doing this just because it covers it. It gives you a good base to work with, and it honestly makes the effect look a lot better. After this, we did move on to adding some rust powders and such, and then we clear coated it with a matte clear to really make it look dull and sad looking, like the look that we're going for. As you guys see here, this is what it turned out as after we put the powders on, all the clear coat, and just almost what the final product's going to look like. After this, we're going to do some detail work. As you see here, we did some of the chrome detail work that just to make the piece pop a little bit more, and then we're going to assemble the car and see what we finished with. Alright guys, if you remember, this is what we started with. This was our pretty bare bones 1941 Willys Gasser, made for Killer of Rock and Roll. This was indeed a commission build for him, but I think we created something that he can definitely use in his diorama. Here is our final result for the diorama piece for Killer of Rock and Roll. So we completely turned this gasser around. We added wheels to it. We smoked out the windows so it looks like it's been sitting for a while. The wheels look beat up and old. The rust is kind of crazy because it's really been eating at this car. And also, the paint definitely needs some work if someone was to take this car and restore it. There was no interior and there was no engine, and I think that just adds to the effect. We also added one exhaust pipe that you guys might be able to see there, and it just needs another one. Alright guys, thank you for stopping by the fish tank. If you guys haven't already, please go follow Killer of Rock and Roll here on YouTube, Instagram, and wherever else he might have social media. But I'm glad that I was able to do this project for him. It was a fun opportunity to build something for him that he can use for his diorama piece, and I can't wait to see where this will be placed in the diorama. Alright guys, thank you for stopping by the fish tank. Again, I am Cole. I am here at Cuda's Diecast Customs, and if you guys need anything, please let me know. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on the video. And let me know if you want to see anything specific on the channel. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Bye.